In this session of entrepreneurship, I want to talk to you guys about why it's important to be an entrepreneur in the kingdom of God. You know, for me as an entrepreneur in the kingdom of God, it's such an honor. You know, it's such an honor to be a business person in the kingdom of God, because as a business person, we have influence. As a business person, we're able to make money so that we can help advance the kingdom of God. You know, it's just an honor to be able to be in the marketplace and be able to give our gifts to the world, but yet be able to take the things that we benefit and we profit and give it back to the kingdom of God. You know, that it's so vital and so important, and to me it's such an honor to be able to be placed in a situation that God sees as valuable. You know, I know so many people that they devalue being called to business, devalue being called to being an entrepreneur. But you know what? God calls that just as much an honor as some people that are a pastor, or some people that are an evangelist or a teacher. You know, don't devalue what God's called you to do. As an entrepreneur, God's called you to something great. God's called you to help fund and finance the kingdom of God. God's called you to be a leader and to be a person of influence. You know, don't take that influence crazy and try to steer the church and steer people to your agenda or steer people to where you want to go. But God's created you to help the kingdom of God. It's important that you're in the church, and it's important that you're in the kingdom because you're a forward thinker. You're one that is most of the time thinking of change, wanting and seeing change, because you don't want things just to stay stagnant and be stale and dry and dull and boring. You want to see it so that it can be the most benefit to the people that are sitting in the congregation. You as an entrepreneur are one that is so valuable to the kingdom of God and the church because you are a forward thinker. You're one that wants to encourage. You're one that wants to see greatness in every day. So you know what? Take that gift that God's given you and ask your pastor, ask your leaders, how can I be more of a benefit to this local house and to this local church? Not only with your finances, but with your time. You know, in a later session, I want to get into why serving as an entrepreneur is so important and it's so vital, because serving it's everything in life. Us as leaders, if we're not serving, we're not growing. If we're not serving our team and our business and our church, then you know what? We're not growing, because we're just a source of inlet. The Dead Sea is dead because it has no outlet. So us as entrepreneurs, we must begin to serve and have an outlet for our finances, for our time, and for our knowledge. Don't just hoard, and don't do anything about it. You know, for you as an entrepreneur, you're important to the kingdom because you want to grow. So what you're going to do is you're going to begin and you're going to spur people to change. You're going to spur people to want to grow. You're going to spur people on to want to read more books, read the Bible every day, study the Word. You're going to encourage people to do the things that they may just sit on the wayside and not do. You know, for you've got to understand and know that not everyone's called to be an entrepreneur. Not everyone's called to be a business owner. Not everyone's called to be the leader. But you've got to take your leadership qualities and help the kingdom of God. And the people that are called just to be there as helpers, just to be there as a support and not ever be the leader, you've got to be there to help them develop and grow to be the best them that they can be. At the end of the day, we have to do what God's called us to do. We can't do anything else. We're only judged on what God's called us to do. So you're important to the kingdom because that's what He's called you to do. You're important to the kingdom of God because you're going to then begin to help so many other people see their true value and their potential. As a leader, an entrepreneur, I'm going to get into it in another later session about leading godly. So you as an entrepreneur will begin to help others see and know that, you know what, taking action is important. Setting goals for your life is important. You know, you're so important and you're so valuable to the kingdom because, you know what, without our finances and without our money, there are so many people that could never stay on the mission field, or the local church couldn't stay functioning without finances. You know, you're very important to the kingdom as an entrepreneur because you help others see their full potential. So when I say something's important, I don't just look at it and go, you know what, I think that's important, but I really don't want to put much time on it. So I want you to understand and know that to the kingdom of God, find a way that you can give. Find a way that you can have an outlet. Because without entrepreneurs and without business owners, you know, we wouldn't have a lot of churches. You know, to be quite honest, a lot of pastors or a lot of founding pastors have the same entrepreneurial spirit that you do. God just called them to a church instead of a business. So just understand and know that you have so much value in the kingdom of God. There are people that are wanting and desiring the thing that you have. People follow your example. God's called you to be a leader. God's called you to be an entrepreneur, or you are one, so you have people following you. And if you don't have people following you, you may not be a very successful one, but yet you may just be growing. So have those and continue to grow, but to the kingdom of God, you are so valuable. You are so important that, you know, your gifts and your calling are there to help the church grow, develop. You're there to help people in the church grow and develop as well. Also in this session, I want to talk about serving as an entrepreneur. Serving is not just one of those things that you should put by the wayside and not do. You know, the Dead Sea's dead, like I said earlier, because there's no outlet. You've got to be a person that has an outlet. You've got to find people to serve. You have to find people at your local church. You've got to find people to help serve, to help them, to help fulfill their dreams and visions as well. You know, as an entrepreneur, if we're not fulfilling the need of our clients, so we should be striving every day to serve our clients, to be the best, to sell them the best product, to give them the best service. Because for us as an entrepreneur, our clients are the only reason that we're really in business. If we didn't have clients and we didn't have people to buy our product, we wouldn't be in business. So we should strive every day to serve them. We should strive every day to serve and to give the best us so that they can have the best product. They can have the best service. You know, serving is very vital in the kingdom of God, and serving is very vital in your business. You don't bow down to your employees. You don't bow down to others. But what I'm saying is serving is giving of yourself to the benefit and the help of others. You should give of yourself so that others can benefit. You should give knowledge to people in your organization so that they can then begin to grow. Because there are some people that aren't growing because they just don't know. And they don't know there's a better way. So we as entrepreneurs should be the ones that are showing them a better way. We should be the ones that are laying some of our time aside to help other people grow. We should lay aside some of our time to help the people in the church, help the pastors, help the leadership teams in the church. You know, we should never be above serving. As an entrepreneur and as the head, we should always be there to be able to help our people and our clients. As an entrepreneur, you should humble yourself and serve the kingdom, serve the church, and serve your employees and serve your clients. You know, there are times that we have the ability, when things are going great, to get proud and to say, look at what I've done. Look what I've built. Look how it's happened. And you know what? To be quite honest, I wouldn't have what I have if it wasn't for God being my Father. I really wasn't the smartest knife in the drawer, but you know what? I had grit. I had something on the inside of me that wanted more. So I went after it. I went after the things that were in my heart. And I did that through serving. I serve the church with my gifts and my talents of maintenance. I help the church with my gifts and talents of video and helping our volunteers and things like that. So for me, I got where I am by serving the kingdom of God. I got where I am by giving of my time, talents, ability, and money. So I just want to encourage you that wherever you are, make sure that you stay humble. Make sure that you stay in an attitude of serving others and helping others. You know, and the last point that I want to talk about on serving is when people see you serving, it's going to encourage them to serve. It's going to encourage them to give. You know, I remember seeing people that I looked up to and people that I admired, and they would be serving the church. And they would be helping, and they would be serving some of their employees or something. When I look at people that are serving and helping their employees and helping their church, it inspired me to do more and to help. You know, you can only do what you can do. And you, at the end of the day, are only called to what God's called you to do. So I'm not telling you to take away from what God's called you to do to serve more and neglect what God's called you to do. What I'm saying is you've got to find time to serve. You've got to find time to have an outlet of giving of your wisdom and your knowledge, because when you give, it's going to empower other people in the church, in your business, and things to be able to give of themselves as well, so that we can then begin to create this snowball of people that want to do nothing more than help and serve the kingdom of God. Because at the end of the day, God's our Father. He served us by sending Jesus to die for us when we really didn't deserve it, but He counted us worthy. So you know what? Count your employees and count your church and people. You know, give back to them. Help them. And stay humble doing it. Don't have a proud, haughty attitude that you want to run around and try to take over the church, because for whatever reason, some business owners have that motto here in the States of they just want to control and run everything. Don't be one of those guys. Be humble. Let the pastors or however your church is set up, let them run things. But be humble. Give everything that you can and go for it. Because when you serve, you're going to be able to create life. You're not going to be the Dead Sea anymore, but you're going to be a living sea. You're going to be one that's not dead and dry and dull and boring, but you're going to be alive, and you're going to be encouraged, and you're going to be inspired. Inspire yourself by giving. When you give of yourself, it inspires you to do more and to help others, because the more I serve and the more I help, the more I want to do it. So continue to do the same. Humble yourself, serve, love, and pray.